Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura, aka Perplexed. Tonight, we're going to be discussing lawsuits and money because there seems to be huge confusion. And I'm seeing comments all over the place about what Granny has spent, what Granny hasn't spent, Julie's lawsuit. And I just think a lot of people are confused and a little lost. So we're going to discuss it. So if you are new here, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And let's get into it.
5 years gone, dust on that old screen. You froze my face in your favorite bedroom. Type my name like a curse in your chat. You hit report, now you can't take it back. I said I'm sorry till my throat went numb. You want a time machine, I got a bigger drum. We do not care, say my name, keep it burning in your throat. We do not care, got your grudge like a chain around your coat. 5 years later, still singing that prayer, keep hanging on to it. We do not care. We do not care. You clip that call like a relic on a wall. Tell the same old tale just to feel 10 feet tall. Yeah, I was wrong and I wore that blame. But you need my sin more than I need my name. I did my growing while you froze in place. You're still screaming yesterday right into my face. Oh yeah, we do not care, say my name, keep it burning in your throat. We do not care, got your grudge like a chain around your coat. 5 years later, still singing that prayer, keep hanging on to it. We do not care. We do not care. Print my past on a plastic flag, wave it round like you called me bad. You want me cracked, want me scared. I'm too far gone, I'm too repaired. We do not care, say my name, keep it burning in your throat. We do not care, got your grudge like a chain around your coat. 5 years later, still singing that prayer, keep hanging on to it. We do not care. We do not care. Hey, do not care. You got my name in your mouth like a habit. Refresh, reload, you can't kick it. Type tough, all caps, then you play victim. You love the fire, but you fade the blister. Say I'm the villain, say I cross lines, but you keep clicking every damn time. If I'm so toxic, why you still here? Why you keep poking the same old bear? Pick a side or shut up, you can't have both. Call me a monster, then beg for a shot. Hate me, replay me, you still make me cry. If I'm so real life wrong, why you stay this long? The hypocrisy is wild and your logic's gone. Pick a side or shut up. Pick a side or shut up. Hey. You swear you're done, then you're back in my comments. New fake name, same weak content. Call me obsessed while you stalk my page, projecting your mess on a bigger stage. I'm that bad, while you share my face, while you build cloud off the clips you hate. You need me trending more than I starts to split. If I'm that dangerous in your mind, why you standing in my sideline? You want me gone, you want me on, you can't decide. Pick one or be quiet. Pick a side or shut up. You can't ever call me a monster, then beg for a shot. Hate me or replay me, you still make me grow. If I'm so real life wrong, why you stay this long? Your hypocrisy is wild and your logic's gone. Pick a side or shut up. Pick a side or shut up. Yeah. Pick a side or shut up. Or just shut up.
Hey. All right, first, how do I sound? Because I moved my mic closer because it felt like it was like so far away and it didn't sound right. So how does it sound? I have like a $350 fucking Shure microphone. So the fact that it's just not sounding right really pisses me off, because I've seen a lot of creators with not as good of a microphone and it sounds hell of a lot better. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I tried testing it. I tried doing a lot of things. So hopefully it's better, because it's driving me fucking nuts. I never had any issues with my microphone before, like, I don't know, a couple of months ago. And then it was like I was cursed and nothing sounded good. I sounded horrible. You heard mouth noises, like breathing. And I was like, what the fuck happened to my damn microphone? I never had these issues. So hopefully it's better and we got it fixed. Dayton thinks it's my computer doing it, but I don't know. It just pisses me off. And I hate wearing a headset. So hopefully we have the issue resolved. Let me get rid of the buzzing. Hopefully we have the issue resolved. Hopefully. So I'm not really sure where everyone is tonight, but I'm starting to feel like Melissa with 20 people. So hopefully we'll get more people. Thank you, Georgia, but I don't want it to sound fine. I want it to sound good. That's the issue. It should sound excellent. It should be clear. It should be focused. You should only hear my voice. Fine, it doesn't work. I need good. And it pisses me off because I didn't buy a really expensive microphone for all these issues. And I bought it a lot. I mean, it's like 2 years old, but I've never had a problem. I don't care if there's another live going on. I don't care. I'm better. But there are a lot of things I want to talk about. Thank you, Georgia. There are a lot of things I want to talk about. I honestly feel it would be better if more people actually listen to me, because I kind of know what I'm talking about, but it is what it is. Where do I begin? I have seen so many comments about money, lawsuits, who's going to pay, who's not paying, who is paying. Let me rewind a little. Let me explain to you guys, in case you don't know, some of you might know, how lawsuits work. There's something called billable hours, where an attorney will bill you or bill the other party or whoever, but that attorney adds up his hours. And every little thing gets added to those hours. If it is a public defender, he does billable hours and gives it to the state. The state then goes ahead and pays him. If it is an attorney that is working pro bono, he will add up all those billable hours and either handed to the plaintiff once they win and they say how much money they get, or he'll give it to the state or whoever he's working pro bono for. Then you have the other type of attorney that wants his money up front, no questions asked. You will get billed in increments, whether it be you have money put aside, you have money in escrow, like, big corporations do that. You have money in escrow. A lawyer just deducts it as he uses it. And then you have the somewhere in between. I can't speak for Barbecue Lady because I don't know her from a hole in the wall. And I don't know. All right, let me preface this with, I can't say 100% certainty that I'm right. But if I was a gambling woman, I would say I'm right. If someone asked me to put money on my opinion on this, I would say I'm 100% correct. Granny's lawyer, because this is where a lot of the arguments came in, a lot of the comments came in. And I think this is where some confusion comes in. Do I believe for 1 second that Granny's attorney has billable hours of $80,000? Hell yeah, I believe it. She texts the guy all the time. Every one of those costs money. Dealing with Brittany and the RICO, and I absolutely believe those billable hours have added up to 80 grand. No questions asked. Do I believe that Granny has physically paid him 80 grand so far? Absolutely not. There's nothing in the world that would make me believe that she has laid out 80 grand. No way. She doesn't have 80 grand. However, that's where there seems to be confusion. There seems to be a disconnect with Granny's attorney. You can believe that Granny has not paid the 80 grand. And this is what I'm seeing from Brittany's side. However, her attorney is going to get paid, whether it be from Granny or from you, BJ, and the rest of your cohorts. Those billable hours, he is adding up. And this is what needs to get paid. Do I believe that Granny has paid him a substantial amount of money? Yeah, I do. But the man will get paid. It's just not going to come from Granny. It's going to come from your sorry ass and all your little cohorts, not just you personally. So I think that's where the disconnect comes in. And BJ's, now you have to understand though, there could be, now if Granny was smart, she would be putting a lot of money aside. Because the thing about the courts, anything can change at any given time. Even though it's highly unlikely and probably never going to happen, there is still a very small chance that all of a sudden they could win the appeal and Granny and Barbecue are going to owe all this money. Is it likely? No. Is there still a 1% or maybe even less than 1% chance that it could happen? It could happen. And Granny and Barbecue, like I had said from day one, you can't win until the fat lady sings. Until it's over is when it's over. You can't count your money before it's in your hand, because it's a court system and you just never know. You could get the dickiest judge in the world who's going to be in bed with Lesniak, and all of a sudden things are going to change. All of a sudden Lesniak's going to be a great attorney and everything's going to be a big turnaround. Nobody knows with 100% certainty. Now, is anyone thinking that's going to happen? No. Is anyone banking on that going to happen? Probably Brittany and her cohorts. But for the most part, I don't think so. However, here's another catch to this. It is possible that the judge can come back and say, sorry, we're not paying. We decided with their appeal and everything that we're not going to give lawyer fees. We're just going to call it a wash. Well, who's going to pay the lawyers then? That would mean either another lawsuit that Granny and Barbecue would have to file, that it would be another lawsuit for them to get paid. And that's going to be even more money. You just never know. But Granny and Barbecue, the mistake they made to begin with is, oh, we won, money in the bank, money in our pockets, we're going to be rich, blah, blah, blah. I was like the only person that sat here saying, they're going to keep this in appeals. Just stop. They're going to keep it in appeals. You guys are crazy if you think that they're just going to win this. Granny got a tattoo. Everyone was congratulating them. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, you're dealing with fucking criminals here. Nick, Betty, you think they're just going to roll over and be like, here's your money? You're never going to see a dime. They're going to keep this tied up forever. While everyone else was telling me I'm such an asshole, look who was right. I've been right from fucking day one on this. So, and it is nerve-wracking, Agent. I'm not disagreeing with you there. But because they thought this was it, we won, this is great. The stress of what's happening now is very stressful. I mean, I can imagine, because it puts in that I don't know. And if it goes horribly wrong, Granny and Barbecue have to pay their attorneys. That's where the stress is coming from, in my opinion. So when people say, like, if it all goes in their favor, we already know they won. The judge can come back and say each one of them has to pay these people $100,000. The judge could. And I don't know why Brittany and all them are not taking that seriously. Well, I do know, because every single one of them are fucking narcissists. But the judge can easily say, for all the stress, we have $160,000 in lawyer bills that are all justified. Judge is going to look it over and make sure that it's not crazy. It's not $400,000. As long as it's justified, we have $160,000. The judge can say, I think that they deserve $500,000. And the ACLU can make recommendations and say that we think they deserve, this is a landmark case. This is bigger than anything we've ever had in our court system in our tiny little town. We think that they should get $500,000. Lawyers get 33% plus what's owed to them, and yada, yada. You don't know what a judge is going to do. It can go either way. But I can assure you, Brittany is not getting out of this, especially because she filed a cease and desist against her, which her lawyer can say. Like, that's another jurisdiction. Look at all she's doing to her. Look at everything that's happening to her. We can, she's continually hurting our client and using, who knows what he could say. But the judge could then turn around and say, you know what? You're right, sir. Brittany, you owe Granny $100,000. You owe Barbecue Lady $50,000. You just don't know. So for any of Granny's people to be, well, Granny didn't pay that, and Granny didn't this, and Granny didn't that, and her subs paid it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Their lawyer on this RICO is garbage. The man should not be practicing law. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know who, and I'm talking about Lesiak, not Granny's lawyer. And Barbecue Lady hired some really big lawyers. So I personally think the only reason this judge is taking so long is because it is a landmark case and the judge doesn't want to make a mistake. The judge, I mean, there's a lot riding on this, and that's more stress. There is a lot riding on this. There's a lot riding on it in the state of Pennsylvania. There's a lot riding on it for the attorneys. There's a lot riding on it just in general. And I also don't think that people are realizing that or taking that seriously. When you have a precedent-setting case, that creates case law. And when you create case law, that goes for every single law book, anyone studying law schools. It's a precedent-setting case in the state of Pennsylvania or in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. They go by Commonwealth. It's huge, like seriously fucking huge. And to see it being minimalized just because of money or worrying about who paid this or who paid that. This is so much bigger than money. And that's where I think people aren't realizing it. I mean, this truly is way bigger than any dollar amount. And the way the judge rules this is history in the making. So the judge this isn't like, all right, guilty or not guilty. This case in the state of Pennsylvania is going to set a major precedent. The judge needs to be right. The judge needs to make the right ruling. Even though Granny and Barbecue Lady pretty much know they won, they don't know what they won. A judge could come back and say, we're just going to make it a wash because the lawyers are going to get famous from it. Or, I mean, you just don't know. Why Brittany and her people are taking this so lightly remains to be seen. I don't know if it's lack of intelligence. I don't know if it's lack of education. I don't know what the reason is. But they need to wake the fuck up and understand that it doesn't matter what Granny has paid or hasn't paid. That's not the point. The point is Brittany's name, because she signed this, and I'm only singling out Brittany because it's her subs that I'm talking about. And Nick doesn't really go live. I have not seen Seth go live. Who else is in the RICO? Betty. I don't watch Betty. So the only comments that I've seen come from come from Brittany's people. So that's why I'm using Brittany. That's another thing I want to address, Irish. So when I see Brittany's people write stuff like this, they need to educate themselves on this case and how it's so much bigger than just money. And it's so much bigger than what they think it is. Hold on, my ankle itches. It's so much bigger than what they think it is. Britney's name is going to go down in the law books forever. Britney N. Jackson, I think her name is Nicole, is going to be in Pennsylvania law books forever. Forever. So will Betty. So will Nick. And I'm sorry, but I would never want my name attached to Nick in the state of Pennsylvania, because it's like being attached to JLR. No, never. Shoot me. I would rather fucking die before I would want my name attached as a plaintiff in the law books of Nick the Hat. Yeah, I don't know that whole story, agent, but you're right. The judge putting on the record that BJ accused her of talking to her in the judge's chambers was another boneheaded move. She just keeps digging that hole. I don't think Britney knows how to not lie. And I'm going to prove my point in a minute. I just don't think she knows how to not lie. And I will never understand the people that allow it and have no problem with it. I think it's gross. But if these people cared about her, they would do a little digging and a little research and see that Britney is in a lot of trouble. She doesn't think so because she doesn't take anything seriously. But Britney's in a whole lot of trouble. And I'm not even talking the shit with Julie. I'm talking this lawsuit. Granny's attorney, if you haven't noticed, is not giving up. Not giving up. Granny's attorney is going full speed at every turn. Every turn. And I don't know why she is not taking that seriously. Hey, Jess's girl. I just don't know why she's not taking that seriously. But then again, I guess I kind of do, because it's Britney and she's a fucking moron. But Granny, why does my fucking ankle itch? Hold on. Do you ever have an ankle itch? Okay. And then I hear a lot of people say Granny got herself into this. I just made a comment about this on my own community post. I don't think that Granny was right in the stuff with Tony. When it came to Tony, it is, in my opinion, a little different. Then why you here, Jesse's girl? If you don't like it, why you here? Just curious. This is what we're talking about. You can leave if you choose. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Since you don't care so much, don't be here. It's that simple. Fucking idiot. And I believe that's troll anyway. Trying to pretend to be someone else. But anyhow. So the fact that that Granny, now I lost my train of thought. Totally lost my train of thought. There was, that Granny was something. Here's the thing though. Do I think the stuff with Tony, Granny kind of caused? Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. I don't know much about that case, but from what I did hear, I think Granny's in the wrong. But this case, the RICO and all this other shit, no. Granny was picked because of where she lived. That's it. That's it. That's all. And nobody can tell me otherwise. It was barbecued. Granny was the last person on anyone's radar. She really was the last person until they found out she lived in Pennsylvania. And again, I've said this from day one. Day one, I said this. And I agree with you. Granny went too far with Tony. I'm 100% in agreement with that. And I also know she doesn't talk about that case. So I think she kind of knows she went too far. I do. But this one, this was complete. She lived in Pennsylvania. And that's another thing. I'm glad you just said that, Agent. A lot of people say, well, how would Nick know that she was from Pennsylvania and blah, 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 blah. Well, Daniel Calavante, Granny, was talking to Nick and JLR. Now, if you guys don't know, JLR and Nick used to be friends. They used to work for the same magazine. They used to own the same magazine. Basically, they were scammers together. They were con men together. Granny was there during Daniel Calavante. She was trying to, get her channel up and going and get her channel better. And she figured, that was a good way to get up there. Nick knew who she was. Nick knew she lived in that town. And does it shock me that he went out looking for her after that? No. Does it shock me that he targeted her? No, not at all. But he couldn't do it alone. He needed a reason to go after Granny. Hence, Brittany. Nick is not stupid. He's truly not stupid. He's a con man. He's a piece of shit, but he's not dumb. And he watched the streets. Who's Granny fighting with? Who's Granny going after? Who can I get against Granny? And he found Brittany. It doesn't take much. It didn't take much for them to come together. And Brittany is not the brightest. So all he had to do was manipulate Brittany into going against Granny. And there's Brittany, dumb as a stump. Sure, I'll go after Brittany. I'll go after Granny, no problem. So when people say that Brittany wasn't involved, yes, she was. I've heard people go as far as to say that Brittany had nothing to do with Granny. Yes, you did, Brittany. Yes, you fucking did. You absolutely fucking did. And it may not have been directly, but if you think for 1 second that you weren't scouted out, that you weren't targeted just like Granny was, you're sadly mistaken. You were 100% targeted just like Granny was. And it's sad that you don't even realize that. And it's even sadder that it's gotten to this point and that you just think it's going to go away. From what I can see, you have some of the best lawyers on the other side. Not Granny's. Granny's attorney, I think, is new. He's very good, but he's not Barbecue's attorneys. Barbecue's attorneys are well established in the community. And they're not taking this lightly. They're not just letting this go. They're not Lesniak. Lesniak knows he's in over his fucking head. He knows he's fucked. he knows that he could even get barred for this. Do you know how stupid he looks? It's very rare that you would see an attorney look this fucking stupid on a precedent case, but that's how stupid Lesniak looks. People have even questioned if he's even an attorney, like a real attorney. That's how bad he looks. So, Britney's people, do yourself a favor and shut the fuck up. Instead of buying gifts for Britney, you might want to start putting away some funds for her because she's going to need them. And again, is everything going to fall on her? No, of course it's not. There's multiple plaintiffs. There's multiple people that it's going to fall on. But I just wish that Britney's people, Betty's people, Nick's people, Seth's people were a little smarter and would have told them and taught them the law a little more and explained to them how serious they better fucking take this and how serious they need to take this. This is not going away. This is not like the shit Britney filed and you just get a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You know, okay, you didn't show up in court. It's all done and over with. Or even Julie's shit. You get a restraining order and you move on with your life. That's not this. There are lawyers out there that want to get paid. There's lawyers out there with billable hours of almost $200,000. I'm just taking the 80 and 80. Rounding it up. And it's not over yet. So the fact that you guys, meaning Britney's people and other people, are basing your opinions on the fact that you don't believe you don't believe that Granny or Barbecue have paid that much money. I'm with you on that. I agree with you 100%. But the judge will get paid. Not the judge. The lawyers will get paid. Who it comes from is up to them. But everyone seems to think they're holding on to that. They're holding on to the fact that, well, Granny hasn't paid that, her subscribers, blah, 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 blah. No, it don't matter. Billable hours are billable hours. It just doesn't matter. And it saddens me that Britney's people and many others are just not taking this seriously enough. They are just so worried about petty bullshit, including Britney. Like, I haven't seen Betty discuss it or heard anything from Betty or heard anything from anywhere. And sadly, you can clock this if you want, but again, it's just my opinion. Knowing what I know of Betty and Nick, I truly fucking believe that they're scheming behind the scenes to put this all on Britney. And I have said this for a while. It would not shock me in the slightest if Lesniak works something out that puts all of this on Britney. Nick will lie. Betty will lie. Have you seen Seth in any of Britney's chats? No, I haven't either. Has Britney been the only one running her mouth about the lawsuit out of all of them? She sure is. Is Britney the only one who the judge has done all this shit? Yeah, judge can do whatever they want. And if you have, now mind you, the judge, and this is the sad truth about court, A judge doesn't know any of you. Like, and when I say any of you, I mean like any plaintiff. So a judge can only base their decision on facts that are presented. If 5 out of 6 plaintiffs come back and say, she manipulated us, she did this, she did that, and they all have the same story, that's a possibility too, Angelina. And they all have the same story, and you also have Lesniak sitting there telling the judge that, this plaintiff did this and this plaintiff did that, and it's always about Brittany. You then add on this shit that Brittany has recently done and said with that the judge put on record. When you combine all of that, yeah, a judge can easily turn around and say, it's all her fault. I've been presented enough evidence that, yeah, this falls on her. And if she thinks these motherfuckers won't turn on her in 30 seconds flat, she is insane. And she hasn't spoken to them. She has no idea what's being cooked up behind the scenes. No idea. This could already be in a lawsuit. Like, this could already be in the works. And nobody knows it. Let's say it hasn't been filed yet. We have no idea. Yeah, she wouldn't follow a lawyer's advice. She wouldn't follow anyone's advice. You just don't know. So I wouldn't doubt it if there's a big plan in the works already. She accused a judge of malpractice, corruption, sleeping with someone, the whole nine. So I personally am pretty much convinced that there's a whole lot of shady shit going on behind the scenes that Brittany is not aware of. And you know what? I don't feel bad for her. It's her own fault. Yeah, and the judge sending the accusations Moon and BJ said about Granny's lawyer and her to the DA, she did turn it into a shit show, and that's 100% on her. That's what I'm saying. Nobody else spoke of the court case. Betty doesn't talk about it. Nick rarely talks about it. Dog doesn't talk about it. Seth doesn't talk about it. Nobody talks about it except Brittany. And Brittany continually goes after the defendant. Continually. Now, am I saying that Granny doesn't go after her? No, I'm not saying that at all. But Granny already technically won this lawsuit. And I think that's where Brittany fails to realize it. Technically speaking, Granny won already. Granny can say what she wants without it hurting her record, without it hurting her case. Whatever Granny says now doesn't matter. Granny technically won. Brittany, on the other hand, is technically in appeals. So the stuff that she says can hurt the case. And I don't think anyone ever explained that to her. And people were saying, well, Granny said this and Granny said that. It doesn't matter. Granny already won. Granny doesn't have to oblige by stuff because she technically already won. Yeah, with prejudice. So not for someone to say, oh, you sound like a hypocrite from what you said earlier. No, what I'm saying is it possible that a new judge could come in all of a sudden and be like, we're going to change things around, and they won the appeal. They could win an appeal, but Granny technically already won the case. And if it hadn't gone to appeal, because appeals are totally different. An appeal is completely different from the actual case. So Granny already won the case. Did she win the appeal yet? Not yet. But Granny can't turn around and lose after she already won. She can lose an appeal, but again, the odds of that happening are so slim to none. There's like a less than 1% chance. And you also have to remember too, let's say, and this goes for the people that didn't pay, that want to say Granny didn't pay. Okay. Let's go one step further. Let's say Granny's attorney is working pro bono. She hasn't paid a dime. She's pocketing all this money. She's rich now. Okay. Let's just throw that out there for argument's sake. So Granny's pocketing all this money. She's getting rich while, the lawyer's working for free. Okay. And every single one of the plaintiffs are ruled to pay the attorney. And let's say every single one of them file for bankruptcy. Who do you think has to end up paying that attorney? Unless the attorney wants to write it off and say there's no way Granny could pay me, technically speaking, by law, that would be on Granny. If the plaintiff cannot pay due to death, due to whatever reason, again, the lawyer's still getting paid. Somehow the lawyer's going to get paid, whether it be you or the plaintiffs. So if the plaintiffs absolutely can't pay, then it could fall on Granny. So that's part of the reason I don't know why people are so up in arms about what Granny paid or what Granny hasn't paid. Because it could come down to she's got to pay it all or she doesn't have to pay anything. That's on her attorney. You'll never know, and it doesn't matter because it's none of your business. Plain and simple. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up too, Agent. Oral arguments rarely happen. And if they do happen, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure oral arguments in this were already done. Didn't they already have? Okay, yeah, it happened back in January. That's what I thought. And the fact that they were even given oral arguments is crazy to me because oral arguments are rare. But I guess in a case like this, you kind of have to, because it is precedent. It is setting a precedent. But I can't believe I just basically spoke for 48 minutes straight. Damn. Time to take a breath. But I really do hope I cleared stuff up for people that don't understand the law, or I was able to clear something up for someone along the way. Because I do know a lot of people are very confused. They were denied oral arguments. All right. See, I haven't followed it that much. Just because I knew how it was going to go. But I do know oral arguments are very rarely granted. But I figured maybe they were granted because of the case, because it is precedent. It is case law. Thank you, Amber. But honestly, though, I hope I was able to at least explain what some people are questioning, or again, I'm not a lawyer, but I happen to be pretty well versed in law, and that is one of I don't know Pennsylvania law that well, but I do know the overall of law. So I do hope I helped explain it better. On the appeal is going to have oral arguments because she's an idiot. That's why. But oral arguments aren't granted often because, again, it's like stupid shit. Craig thinks they're famous, and they will be. The first time I slap case law in which BJ's name will be known making history in PA as a loser. That's right. I don't think Craig knows they lost, though. I really don't. I think Craig thinks that Brittany won, and I think Craig believes all the lies that Brittany tells him. And I say that because of just the way he is. I'll give you an example, something I was going to bring up in a little while. Megan VR caught something, and it's 100% right. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, did I catch that? I don't think I caught that either. Brittany blatantly lies, and Craig has no idea what she's talking about. And it's fucking weird to me. Yeah, he thinks she can get out of it. He thinks that it's perfectly fine. He thinks she could just sign away on it. No, because he does not know how deep in she is. The plaintiffs can file bankruptcy. No, you can file bankruptcy. You can file whatever you need to. Anyone can file bankruptcy. That doesn't mean that the courts will allow it, but anyone can file it. I don't see what, I mean, anyone can file bankruptcy. It doesn't mean that the courts will allow bankruptcy, will allow this court case to be on their bankruptcy, but they can still file bankruptcy. Well, I don't know why they would say no. Nobody could tell someone they can't file bankruptcy. That's silly. Yeah, but you wouldn't be in litigation when you filed it. If they're ordered, if they're ordered to pay $100,000, okay, let's just say that's what the final order is. They're no longer in litigation then. Would they file bankruptcy while they're waiting for an appeal? No, you can't do that. But I'm saying once the judgment is done, then they can file bankruptcy. Yeah, that doesn't mean that it'll be discharged. They may not allow it to be discharged, but they can still file it. But the judgment would have to be in first. They can't file it they can't file it as a way to get out of a judge saying, hey, you have to pay X, Y, and Z. That they can't do. But afterwards they can. If Brittany's ordered to pay $100,000, yeah, she could file bankruptcy. That doesn't mean the judge is going to allow this case to be gone. And depending on the attorney, if the attorney wants to be a fucking moron, not even a moron, if the attorney wants to be an asshole, even if she files for bankruptcy, he could still sue her. He could still go after her, whether she files bankruptcy or not. Filing bankruptcy would only eliminate, let's go one step further. All right, Brittany has to pay $100,000 to Granny and barbecue, 50 a piece, let's say. Brittany gets the advice, let's file bankruptcy. Okay, so she files bankruptcy. She has no money. Guess what? The lawyer can still sue her for $100,000. He doesn't have to have a reason. She owes me $100,000. Okay, she filed bankruptcy for the judgment. I can still go after her for pain and suffering. My client had pain and suffering. That bankruptcy means absolutely nothing. That's what Brittany doesn't realize. Creditors act like Brick targeted her. No, I personally do not think that Brittany targeted Granny, but I do believe that Nick targeted Granny. It was not random. Granny wasn't doing what barbecue was doing. There was no reason for Granny to be named in a RICO other than where she lived. That's it. No, I believe Nick targeted her. I believe Nick targeted her 100%. I'm telling you, that was not random. Nick knew what he was doing. He's not a criminal for a reason. There's a reason why Nick went to jail for being a fraud. There's a reason why Nick was besties with JLR. 2 frauds. There's a reason for it. Oh, it was very calculated. Extremely calculated. And it was calculated on Nick's part. And Nick needed somebody to justify why he was targeting Granny. And they got the reason. Brittany was the reason. And I've said this from since the beginning. BJ was convinced that, literally convinced. Lauren, I'm going to address you one time and one time only. That is the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard in my entire life. Have you heard some of these creators who were not hit, who have said 1,000 times worse? Did you miss what some of these others have said? Maybe you missed it. But Barbecue and Granny, that's not why they were hit at all whatsoever. So I will not address you again. If you want a link, I'll give you a link. But that is the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard. And it just shows your ignorance in the whole situation. I have heard far worse come out of other people's mouths. But because they don't live in the state of Pennsylvania, in that exact county, they weren't named. But okay. In the court filings, let's reiterate this. It's in the court filings against Barbecue and GW. Do you know what that means? Hold on, Tara. Do you know what that means, Lauren? That means that it was stated by the plaintiffs, not by Barbecue and GW. It is stated by the plaintiffs in the court filings. That's what that means. It by Lesniak, exactly. Lesniak or Nick or whoever wrote those paperwork wrote that in there. That does not mean that that's what Barbecue said. That just means that's what was filed. That's it. That's all it means. It doesn't make it true. That's what the plaintiffs wrote. I could go write a case right now and say that Craig hurt me. Okay? If I said that I went to North Carolina and Craig hurt me and I'm filing a case about it, that's only my word. That doesn't mean Craig hurt me. That just means that's what I wrote. Doesn't mean it happened, but that's my side of it. That's what I wrote, and that's going to be in the court filings, that I did that. Not that Granny and, no, because it was written by Lesniak, not by Barbecue. And that's an opinion, Lauren. She's entitled to an opinion. Barbecue Lady's allowed to have an opinion. That's not court worthy. And let's go one step further. Why was that said? That was said because that's what Seth said. And I distinctly remember Seth said that on that dude's stream. I forgot the stream. Not Plunder. It's a dude with a P. Who am I talking about? You know how I'm talking about, right? Who's that dude? It starts with a P. When Seth first got here, whose panel was he on? I never watched the guy, so I can't remember his name. Oh, yes, he did. He sure as fuck did. If I could think of the creator, I'll play it. Pascal, thank you. Thank you, Krista. I knew it was a P. Pascal. He said on Pascal, that's how we found out. No, it was Pascal. We found out everything about Sebastian because of Seth on Pascal. He sure as fuck did. And that is how we know. That is how we knew anything about Sebastian. So if Barbecue Lady came up with her conclusion or her opinion for that, guess what? She's entitled to it. She's entitled to have an opinion. She's absolutely entitled to have an opinion. That's not court-worthy. That's an opinion. Lauren, either take a link or I'm ignoring you. Your choice. I'm not arguing with the chat. You want a link? I'll give you a link. But I'm not going to sit there and argue with chat. I'm going to pull a queen bee. Either take a link or shut up. I'm not looking at evidence. I'm in the middle of doing a live. My name is not Brittany. Yeah, the judge ruled all of the plaintiff's arguments are bullshit. And it was frivolous. And they won. They won. Yeah, hold on. They won for a reason. And that's the other thing that people can't seem to get through their head anymore. Barbecue Lady and Granny won the lawsuit. They won the RICO. Just because they want to tie it up in bullshit, that's something different. But they won. This is not like Julie's case. It's still in the courts and you don't know. It's already been ruled. They won. Lesniak looks like a fucking idiot. All this shit of who, what, when, where, why doesn't even matter. They won. Now it's just a matter of all the other bullshit. But they won, period. The judge ruled it frivolous, ridiculous, without merit. But of course they're going to go into an appeal because they have to. It's part of the game. It's part of the legal system. They're not going to just roll over and be like, okay, no problem. Has it been that long? I didn't realize it's been that long. RICO's been dismissed for almost a year. It's a slap. They appealed to tie up the courts. Lesniak is Clown Town. I agree with that. I didn't realize it's been that long. Yeah. Actually, I think Rancher's a better lawyer than Lesniak. I think Lesniak is the most pathetic motherfucker in the world. Like the worst attorney. Their whole lawsuit was ridiculous. Like, the whole thing was ludicrous to begin with. Since October 2024. Yeah, the slap is, yeah, that's the other thing. The whole reason for a slap is to eliminate this type of lawsuit. And what do? They put it in appeals. Take your fucking damages and move on. I agree. It should have never made it past first level. I am 100% in agreement with that. I think, you know what I think? I think Nick and Betty did all that writing. I do not believe for 1 second that Lesniak turned in any of those papers. I think it was all Nick and Betty. It wouldn't even surprise me in the least if Nick conned Lesniak and he literally knew nothing about it. It would not surprise me in the least. Yeah, because maybe I'm just giving Lesniak too much credit, but I just can't. I mean, when the shit that they were admitting into court, even I knew. I was sitting there like, this is ludicrous. You can't file this stuff. Nobody cares about this shit. A judge isn't going to look at it. It was fucking blowing my mind that a lawyer was introducing stuff that I knew couldn't even be entered. I mean, this is shit Betty does. This is not even anything that would get submitted by a judge. A judge knows better. I don't know who Body Move-In is. Prove that Betty and Nick were the souvenirs. Could be. Now, I said that from Scrivener. I said that from the beginning. I don't know who Body Move-In is, but I've said that from the beginning. Because there's just no way a lawyer would submit all this. There's just no way. Oh, she got the metadata? How? I agree with that. I have no idea who Body is. Buddy is the Beast, like 2 million. I have no idea who it is. Oh, she's the best? I have no idea who it is. Who is she? Where? What channel? But how an attorney is the don't fuck with. I have no idea who that is, Tara. She's the Netflix show Don't Fuck with Cats. Oh, I saw that. Does she have a channel? She's in the mole on Netflix. So why'd she fuck with this case? That's how out of the loop I am. She's in chats around GW's case. Oh, she's mainly on TikTok. She's show iHeartRadio. Joseph Scott Morgan. Why do I know that name? I do know that name. Baudi. Body Move-In has 3,000 subscribers. She gets no views. You sure I got the right person? Oh, is that how I know his name? Yeah, because I knew his name. Oh, she doesn't have a big YouTube presence, that's for sure. Even looking at her Sebastian videos is not much. I mean, she came up on Google real quick. She's a subparent involved at Netflix as a producer. What's her name? Vadi Move-In? She was a mod for Brittany J. She got 134,000 on TikTok. I don't know. I'm looking at her TikTok. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea who she was. But where did she talk about the metadata? Because I thought only cops could get metadata. But I don't know. She kind of reminds me of Julie. She kind of looks like Julie. Okay, so she wasn't a producer. She was one of the internet sleuths in Don't Fuck with Cats, was instrumental in identifying killer Luca Magnotta. She meticulously analyzed clues in his abuse videos, such as bedding, power sockets, and vacuum cleaners to trace his location, ultimately helping pinpoint his whereabouts to Toronto, Canada. So she's a sleuth. She helped run a Facebook page dedicated to identifying the man in the video. She analyzed the video frame by frame to identify specific items. She utilized online tools to cross-reference visual clues. Her efforts, along with other online users, aimed to stop the perpetrator before he escalated to harming humans. Well, he definitely harmed humans. That's just people insinuating stuff. Say, yeah, I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying what I'm reading. But I mean, she literally was one of the people that stopped Louis Magnotta. Good for her. That's awesome. I've seen that original video. Ugh. It's vile. But good for her. That's awesome. And I heard that wasn't easy to do either. Oh, she got rid of page 2. All right, now I know who she is. No, it's not about animals. It's about, do you know who Luca Magnotta is? Luke Magnotta? He was a sick motherfucker who, the only reason the name is Don't Fuck with Cats, because at the end of his murder, he had the cat eat chunks out of the guy's butt. And I'm telling you, I never threw up from a movie in my entire life. I literally vomited after I watched this snuff film. I guess you would call it a snuff film. Yeah, I'm not talking of Don't Fuck with Cats. I'm talking the original film, the snuff film. It's vile. It's absolutely vile. Yeah, Luke Magnotta had cats, and he literally took a chunk out of the guy's butt and gave it to the cat. And the guy was dead already, but it was gross. Yeah, it was just gross. And the cat's just sitting there munching away. It was so vile. I'm like getting nauseous just thinking about it. Ugh. It's a vile video. And all it is just Luca. You see, it opens up, but this guy is like tied up, and he kills him, and he stabs him multiple times with an ice pick. I think it's an ice pick, and he just stabs him multiple times, and the guy like can't move. The guy's like tied up; he can't move, and he has I forgot what song is playing in the background. I think it was in the movie, though. I think the movie does a good depiction of it somewhat. And I think they play the same song. But yeah, it had nothing to do with animals. I mean, he was a psychopath, but yeah, it was bad. But that ending scene, I'll just never forget. And who knows how many more people Luca would have killed if he wasn't stopped. But yeah, it's pretty intense. One of my subs is like, I'll send you the video. I was like, yeah, let me see it. No big deal. Ugh, horrible. Oh. You see him stabbing this guy with an ice pick, and the guy's so drugged up he couldn't even move. Yeah, it was bad. He was good for her. Because who knows how many more there could have been. All right, so now that we established I know who she is. And honestly, though, being that she's that much of a sleuth, yeah, I guess it's possible that that she could have got metadata. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, yeah, he was the psychopath. He killed animals. But I think he killed like a bag of animals. I forgot the scenario. But he was a sick bitch. I mean, that there's no doubt about it. He was one sick fuck who thought, kind of like Britney, he thought he can get away with anything. And it didn't matter. You know, he was unstoppable. Nothing was going to stop him. He was the man. And then he got caught. She has a job at a bunch of casinos in Las Vegas. Yeah, like I said, I have no idea who she was. But it's just not easy to get metadata. You really have to know people in order to get it. But I wanted to see the metadata only because I said it from the beginning that Nick and what's her name wrote it. That Nick and Betty wrote it. Casino data analyst. That's a good job. I'll take that job. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need a subpoena for metadata. Or I thought you needed to be a cop. But I guess if you have the right connections. Data showed written on 2 different IP addresses. I believe that. Because again, I said it from the beginning. I said, I know that there's no way a lawyer did this. There's just no way. This had to have been done by Nick and Betty. And the thing about Betty, a lot of the shit that was entered is the exact same way that Betty entered shit for QB's court case. That was the other tip off. I'm like, this is like the same garbage that was entered in QB's case. This is Betty. I don't know if Nick is working with her or how it's all combined, but this is fucking Betty. Betty's writing all this, or Nick and Betty. And maybe they're having, what's his name, sign it, or there's no way he even knew this was going in. I wouldn't believe it. Because no lawyer, if I knew it, and I'm not a fucking lawyer, and I knew all that shit couldn't be in, there's no fucking way that a lawyer would allow it. Yeah, I tried looking through a channel, but TikTok doesn't show much. Like, there's no like real titles on it, and there's too many videos. Maybe I'll do it this way. I tried putting in metadata for her name, thinking maybe it would pop up, but it doesn't. I said it was better when I first heard it because I've heard all. That's what I'm saying, Irish. That's why I just figured that her and Nick were working together. Metadata on, what would it be under? On metadata on Sebastian Rogers? On RICO case, maybe? Nah, everything under her comes up for don't fuck with cats. Did you show it on YouTube? Was it alive? Oh, here it is. I just found it. Here we go. We found it. Seek and ye shall find. Ta-da! No, she's got it on her own panel. Why is there no sound? There's no sound, though. Okay, this isn't metadata, though. This is filing and exhibits. Oh, shit, look at that. Look at that. Nick and Betty. I'm a fucking genius. See, I just don't get enough credit. That's it? That's all there was? Oh, you know why there's no sound? Duh. Hold on. Because I have my speakers off. Oh, there's still no sound. Okay, but here's my thoughts. All right, there's no sound anyway. But here's my thoughts. The author of the exhibits has, that just means who wrote it. It doesn't mean like the lawyer wouldn't write it. And who the author is wouldn't matter. Just showing the exhibit that Nick wrote the exhibit, I don't really think that matters. I don't, I might be wrong, but I don't think that matters. Thank you, LG. Ah, thanks. But I don't know. I just don't think the author makes a difference. It's like the title. All right. So it's Betty's Exhibits. And Nick wrote them. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. But I do think it's funny that it's both their names, which is what I had said from the beginning. And I dropped her the link. Like, here, no lawyer is going to drop a 323 fucking page thing. That's just not the way the law works. No lawyer is going to fucking do that. None. Especially when most of it was bullshit.
Hey, here's what does matter though. Okay. So, the declarations by the individual plaintiffs, can you pull up Seth's declaration
How? No, this
exhibit?
is video.
I can send it to you. Well, I can send it to you.
Yes.
So, all right, let me go find it. I hate opening their stuff, but let me find it. So Seth's, well, you'll just see what I mean. So one of the plaintiffs, the one from TikTok, Christina O'Donnell, I already have, there's like recordings of people admitting to writing her, declaration for her because she's as dumb as a box of rocks. So, I mean, when I read it, I was like, this wasn't written by her. But one of the things that I found interesting with Seth's, and if you look at the timestamp of like when it was sent to him, like DocuSigned, and created, and like who created it, and then emailed it to him and stuff. There was no time. It was just enough time for him to initial everything, and it proves that he didn't author it. But let me find it. I hate this. Like, I hate opening their exhibits because I feel like I know that at one point Tony was paying people to like track, track down people's emails through payments and stuff like that on TikTok, which is why I'm hesitant to do that. But let me find it. I do have it somewhere. But anybody that's ever looked at it, you can see it. Like if you have it, Body may have it too, but that was like one of the first things that I noticed was that, and it may take me a second because I'm gonna have to. I have a lot of screenshots.
What is this?
Body moving from "Don't Fuck with Cats."
Okay, so this is hers.
Okay, here's the declaration. I'm gonna send it to your energy candles. It's energycandles@gmail.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Like, I don't know. I wish they would have this was clearly a mistake. And I wish they would have done it for everybody else. But I have the audio recordings of the people admitting who like admitted to it, but I'm sending it right now. Okay. All right, sent. Yeah, that's a spreadsheet that, yeah, I don't think BJ wrote her part either. There's another person too, Irish, that has a good spreadsheet that I found that has like a lot of the earlier interviews as well. Body is awesome.
I don't know. You would never see me put together a spreadsheet like this without getting paid.
Well, see, like we spent a lot of time like on TikTok and stuff. We spent a lot of time talking about this case. And Body is a very like analytical mind, like her mind's very analytical, and that's just how like her mind works. And
I hope she got paid big time for it.
no, this is how she like organizes her shit. Like this is how she does her stuff. But
she's a better woman than me.
no.
So now you'd have to pay me for that.
She's not a paralegal. She but what she did do, and if you watch Don't Fuck with Cats, she was involved in helping track down
Yeah, Luca Magnotta.
Luca Magnotta. But she does stuff for casinos. And
All
she
right,
also runs a podcast on she also runs a podcast about true crime now.
what am I looking for in this?
Just pull it up and you'll see, I'll point it out to you. I don't know why I can't see, like on here I can see that my avatar.
Okay,
No, I
it's one
can't.
page.
Let me see if it fixes it.
What am I looking at?
Okay. See where it says, this is a declaration of Seth Rogers, right?
Yeah.
Document created by. Blow it
Yeah.
up.
It doesn't allow me to. A document created by Jay
All right.
Perez. From
So then it says created by, you know, and it gives the time.
Okay.
Yours is a little fuzzy for me, so I've got to do it. So, and then email to Seth Rogers for signature.
Okay.
Email view the time that it was viewed by Seth.
Okay.
And then he like literally within 3 minutes, 2 minutes has sent it back. So all he did was literally initial it, write down like you do on DocuSign where you already have your initials like automatically saved. Click, 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 click.
Okay.
But he didn't create it.
Okay.
He didn't author it.
What are you talking? What am I missing here? What are you talking about? Who didn't create it? It said it was created by someone at One World Media, Jay Perez. They sent it over.
I'll be right back.
They sent it over to Seth, and Seth signed it and sent it back. What am I missing? Created. It said it was created by someone at One World Media, Jay Perez. They sent it.
I'll be right back.
They sent it over. Yo, you're making me echo. Yo.
Hey, you're missing the fact that Seth isn't the author of his own declaration. That's the point. Like, he is in that declaration, he attests that he wrote it.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean much.
Yes. Well, why would he have to
because they could have been talking on the phone for all you know. They could have done it over the phone and then at night just created the document based on them talking over the phone. So that doesn't mean anything.
Laura.
What?
If there wasn't three other people that automatically have already said that they didn't write their own declaration, that's pretty obvious they didn't write their own declarations. I mean, but
no, but I'm saying legally, on a legal perspective, they could have been on the phone. I've done that with my attorneys. I've talked to them on the phone. They write something up and then they send it to me for signature. That's just the way it's done. Not usually in a declaration like this. It's not usually done that way. Huh? To me, and that's not their attorney, anyways. Jay Perez is not the attorney, not an attorney. I agree with you.
It's not even anything to do with, I don't even know if there's who Jay Perez. Who the fuck is Jay Perez? Last time I heard, we don't even know who everybody is that's quote unquote at night. This isn't an attorney thing. And I agree, but legally they can say that they were saving themselves money and they went ahead and did it, or Seth signed it, Seth wrote it and then sent it to Jay Perez, who created the actual document of it and then sent it back. So how would he have written it and sent it to him if he didn't? Wouldn't he have had the original copy? Seth would have the original copy. So why would it need to be emailed to him? to be signed?
Because maybe Seth doesn't know how to type. Or maybe they wanted to make it more fancy. I'm not saying this to you on a personal level. I'm saying for a legal level that what you're saying doesn't matter because there's a million ways around it.
I would bet a dime to a donut. This is one of my dad's phrases that he, if asked about this in court, there is no, like, he would be committing perjury if he said that he authored that.
Who would be committing perjury?
If Seth, there's no way, in my opinion, there's no way that Seth authored this, and if he could not testify, like, if he were put on the stand, like, there's no way he could say that he created this document.
I disagree, and I just don't think it's that big of a deal.
Well, then if it's not, then why is this the only one that was in there? And I think it was in there by mistake. It was never filed with the court.
So nothing. Seth's wasn't filed by the court?
No, like, this was never, like, this was the exhibits. Like, this was accidentally included in with the exhibits.
Okay.
It kind of is more of a gotcha moment than you think, because basically, like, the exhibits were never filed. This was not part of, like, this was just accidentally included in there. But it does, the fact, I don't know, well, we can agree to disagree on this one, but I don't think that there were like 600 and something exhibits, I think, in the first filing. There's a lot.
Yeah, but they're all ludicrous. They're fabricated, like Facebook posts. They're stupid. That's why the judge gave it no merit.
Did Dog even have a declaration, though? I don't even remember Dog having a declaration. Yeah, Agent 99. He didn't even have one. And, like, the second time when they tried to include me in the RICO or whatever, the second time, like, their evidence was literally my entire Twitter history.
I don't really believe
if it wasn't for the fact that I know that I have several other people admitting that they authored those, like, recorded admitting that they authored the declarations for the plaintiffs in this case. And I know that they were in, let's say, the litigation lounge, so they were pretty close up and didn't know what was going on. Then, like I said, Seth, there's no way that Seth could go in and say, I wrote this. Or if he did, he'd be committing perjury, in my opinion.
What's their company name? One World Media?
I don't know what the issue with sound is. Okay, I'll just drop down because I can't hear anything.
You can't hear me?
Let's see.
Is it One World Media? Hold on. Yeah, One World Media. Well, here's an interesting fact. There is no J. Perez at oneworldmedia.com.co.
Motion detected at your front door.
Where the fuck is he going? And that's who signed it? Now that's interesting. There is no J. Perez. So that's just somebody the Nick made up. There's a Jose Perez, MBA, president of JP Global. Yeah, it's Nick. It's Nick's made-up name.
I'm going to try one more time, and hopefully StreamYard sound doesn't go out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but it's weird. It would just go out randomly.
There is no Jay Perez at One World Media.
That's the other thing that I was saying. Like, they've also changed the name several times. At night, it was like at night, creative intelligence, at night. Like, I mean, it's all these different names
No,
that they've used.
This was for the One World Media, which Nick tried to make it separate, which it was never separate, but Nick tried to make it separate. Try to say like they were the financing, they were the backers. It was the same. I looked into it a couple of years ago. It's total bullshit. Exactly. Granny said, yeah, that's another thing I said originally. Found out that One World, aka At Night, consists of Nick and Hong only. Yep, that is true. At Night is Nick and Hong, but One World Media is fabricated. There's nothing to it. It's still Nick and Hong. I looked into it when the whole thing first came to pass, and there is no At Night. There is no One World Media. It's a cover.
They have like this, I want to say in one document, let's see. I think it was, they're trying to find who is At Night still. They found out that One World was Nick and Hong, but they haven't figured out who At Night consists of. Because the other thing was the Rogers Homestead of Family Values that I think is being looked into as to who all is in that, because that's a whole nother story.
There is a One World Media that's really big, but that's not them. But there is a company, One World Media, that I think it's .com or they're .co or vice versa or something like that, but it's not them. But they like try to steal the name and they try to make it sound like it was them,
right?
But it's not.
Yeah,
it's a totally different company.
The other thing is that I thought was funny and interesting was they had like a mailbox at like one, like in New York or whatever, like they're, and it was basically like a rent mailbox, so to speak, because, I
know what you mean, rent an office.
Well, there was no office, like physically. SF actually bought a mailbox like right next to him in the same building. Like, it was pretty interesting.
There's there's a One World Media Corp, which is a creative media, but there's also, and that they're in Barcelona, but there's also a big one in the UK that has won awards for journalism and everything. There's a lot. There's one in London. There's a few of them. Yeah, one of them is a nonprofit, but none of them.
Rogers Homestead they forgot to file their taxes. I don't think that was accidental, though. Or last time I checked, they didn't file taxes.
Like it says, Nick the Hat is a controversial media figure linked to One World Media and At Night Media. But the One World Media that they like kind of have him linked to is not him.
Yeah.
Like the one, they have oneworldmedia.com.co. Like, that's ridiculous. Nobody ever does that.
That's like one of the things that they send out, like when you're like like in terms of like fishing, which seems like a JLR type thing to do,
Hold on, what was that?
That island, that's one thing we were trying to figure out is who was on the board, because the way this nonprofit was like structured, I think it was I have the agreement. Hold on one second. It was like a profit share, like, there was a special way that it was written out, but let me see. And of course, I couldn't get I had to wait for them to file taxes to get the stuff that I needed on it.
Oh, I
But
see.
it originally existed in California, and then they reopened it in, like, originally existed. It's a nonprofit. It was originally a nonprofit public benefit corporation that was in California and opened on June the 23rd, 2014, and then in California, and then was then it went inactive in 7/31 of 2017. And let me find the other stuff. Then, oh, here's the interesting part. So Seth reopened it as a Tennessee domestic nonprofit corporation on May the 9th of 2024. And then the registered agent for the company is listed as, Seth's home address. But we were trying to figure out who all is on the board, which that would have had to have been disclosed in their tax filings.
Okay, so they have a virtual office space at One World Trade Center, floor 85, which is all flexible offices, and it's all virtual offices.
Yeah.
That's where they changed the courts to. On what's February 16, 2024.
Yeah, Agent 99. That's exactly when Tony came on board. It was early May.
Please be advised, the petitioner, Nick's title, Director of Open Record Strategy and Chief Content Officer.
Who is that?
Nick. It's just a court filing I just found. Please be advised, petitioner At Media Group hereby notifies the courts and all parties involved in the above captioned matter, which is Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, At Night Media versus PA State Police. Change of address effective immediately. The new address for service of process, correspondence, and all legal documentation in the dockets as mentioned above is At Night Media Group, One World Trade Center, 85th floor, New York, 10007. The new address will be used to serve a process, correspondence, and all legal documentation addressed to At Night Media Group and its representatives. Sincerely by him, no lawyer. Oh, wait. Sent to William Rosier, Open Records, Nolan Meeks, Deputy Chief Counsel, Pennsylvania State Police, Kyle Applegate, Chief Counsel. No lawyer listed. At Night Media. Yeah, he's got no lawyer on record. No law firm.
Yeah. I wonder, I want to say there was something I could find with Joshua Perez. Let me look for it. But Nerdy Addict was part of them for like a short period of time, and I wonder what all Nerdy Addict saw.
Yeah, this whole thing is the weirdest thing I ever fucking saw.
Well, I have a suspicion because, like, one of the things is, well, where are they getting the money? Let's just say I have a suspicion about that, a theory.
What money? Get money for what? What money?
Just to like live off. I mean, they're like live off and keep up this whole charade.
He's a con man.
Yeah, but I'm saying exactly, but I have an idea of where they may have gotten something, you know. Island. What I'm thinking is who's funding this is, do you remember back when a certain virus came into America? You could get loans.
What? Nick
You don't
ain't that
remember?
serious.
Huh?
Nick ain't that serious.
You don't. Okay.
No, Nick is a fucking joke.
You don't think that he would try to get that?
No.
Get a PPP loan? Okay.
PPP loan.
Yeah.
I can't say no. I don't know.
Yeah. That's where I think it's coming
Yeah,
from.
that's possible. It's possible.
And they are cracking down on that.
Now with
Because
all
there are a lot of people that took those out under false pretenses and, with like bad intentions.
I couldn't get one. I tried and I have a legit.
Well, and that's where I wouldn't put it like this. I would not be shocked if something comes out that's where everything came from.
I'm with you on that. I agree with that. I thought you meant he was involved in like some kind of like government conspiracy.
No,
That's
I don't.
what you were gonna
No,
say. I was like, huh?
no. I'm wondering I'm wondering, like, I sometimes still wonder about if they're really, their affiliations with JLR. Like, are they really still affiliated with him in some way and just keep it under the table? Because I thought it was interesting in Sebastian's case at what point JLR flipped in terms of his support of, originally, like, support of Seth and Katie, then to Katie, and more of like Katie and Chris could be innocent type.
He has worked as an investigative reporter, television producer, talent booker, and was former affiliated with the National Enquirer. He founded Your Content in 2015, currently acts as a senior executive for At Night Media Group based in New York. Hold on, where are you going?
I'm going to hang out with Charlie. We might go to a party.
Why are you still wearing that?
I just haven't taken it off.
He's been involved in several high-profile legal matters and controversy regarding his reporting and identity, including allegations of impersonating journalists and government officials.
Yeah, that's Nick. I mean, Nick is dumb, but I mean, he's like, who walks into a police station with drugs on them and says, I want to be an informant. This is how and then, I mean, some of his stories are just wild.
I never liked the dude. I always thought the dude was a fucking piece of shit. I told Granny that too. When Granny went and was talking about, I'm like, dude, stay away from him. I was like, stay away from JLR too.
Yeah. Dietz did a 3 years ago or something, did a really good live on JLR.
I mean, none of this surprises me at all because I've been saying this shit from the beginning. The second Nick came on scene and I knew that he was working with JLR, I'm like, this dude's a fucking scammer. I was like, he's no different than JLR, just another fucking scammer.
In my opinion, so is Tony. That's just my opinion.
I see. I don't know anything about Tony.
You're better off. You're not missing anything. Dietz, Agent 99. I'll see if I can find the link for it. But it was a good live on JLR. when it came, all the stuff about like Magnolia came out, it was everybody, like, it started popping up.
He's another one. People should have listened to me fucking 4 years ago on Molly's panel. I said, stay the fuck away from this dude. He's trash. He's a fucking loser. But who listened to me? Nobody. 4 years, 5 years later, look at him now.
Here's the link. Yeah. I mean, I saw someone clipped it too where, you know, Jay was asking someone to, like, here's the link to that live if you want to watch it. Agent 99. It's a good live. But
I am always right, Bad Wolf. It sure seems that way.
yes, Amber, I put the link to that live that you're talking about. I don't know. It's just yeah, that's another thing. Bruce Castor was definitely used to intimidate, but he is still on. I don't think he never officially removed his name.
I don't think he can. I think
He could.
Wozniak had to do it.
Well, but see, they went on Nick's panel. They did a panel together. Bruce, Lesniak, Nick, that Crime Time Buzz, Jay with an I, and some other weirdos. And they were talking about stuff, and you know, I don't even know, like, if Castor knows his name is still on there, but it's his obligation to take his name off, not Lesniak's.
No, but he didn't put it on in the first place. There was a letter that he wrote to Lesniak and said, I don't know why I'm on there. You need to remove me.
Well, he could have, that's his duty to make sure that it's, like, he has an obligation to file with the court that he's not a part of this shit. Like, it's not under, like, Lesniak. That's, like, more of, like, a personal thing. Like, why would you fucking put me on there? In my opinion, I think he's still, his duty is still to the court. As an officer of the court, he would have to file. Not Lesniak. Lesniak can't file on behalf of him.
He told Lesniak to remove him.
And Lesniak can't remove him without, he needs to file with it was his responsibility to file with the court.
I think he did.
No, he never filed anything.
I don't know. But I do remember that letter.
Well, unfortunately, letters don't really get you very far, and
I think it was an email
dealing with the courts. Yeah, emails.
He had sent an email stating you need to take me off of it. But I didn't follow the case like you guys did. It just wasn't that important. It was just another case. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know, and honestly, really don't care. Not my case.
Well, I think it was mainly used. I think they were trying to also use it as an intimidation tactic for anyone that spoke out against Seth, Tony, whatever. They were targeted. You know, and it was to shut everybody up and intimidate people. Or in the case of Granny, I was in her live when Nick came in and said, you know, for $500, and, you know, basically.
Yeah, but that was after they already won.
No.
That happened after they already won, and she was like, shut the fuck up.
No, that was before. He came in her live before, and then that was the day that he did the skunk emoji. And yeah, I want to say that was definitely before the filing.
See, straight talker, that's funny because I didn't even know Bruce Castor's name before any of this. If he filed something against me, I'd be like, who's that? Who that? I have no idea who he is.
Yeah, if you looked him up, like he notoriously Trump, like he represented Trump, and he was like, I mean, Trump couldn't stand him when he represented him in Pennsylvania.
I mean, I remember looking him up in the past, but he's
Let's see if I can find that picture of the skunk.
an American lawyer and former Republican politician. Pennsylvania super lawyer, the president, top 180 lawyers, but I don't live in Pennsylvania, so I would have no interaction with this dude. That's why I'm surprised so many people know who he is. Like, he's a Pennsylvania lawyer.
Well, because he represented Trump in his case in Pennsylvania.
Not like Alan Jackson.
No, he's not Alan Jackson, but
That's a man.
you know who's really good? Maybe better than Alan Jackson? Dick DeGuerin. That guy's good. I'm trying to find the damn skunk emoji with Granny. Because I was in that live. I don't know. I wonder when they're supposed to have a ruling on all this shit.
You never heard of Alan Jackson? He represented Karen Reed.
I know who Alan Jackson is.
No, not
Girl.
you. I was talking straight talker.
Oh.
He is the best lawyer I've ever seen publicly. Better than OJ's lawyers were. He is just phenomenal. Mark Aragos used to be my favorite lawyer until I saw Alan Jackson. I said,
You should watch Dick
smooth.
DeGuerin.
And I hope he gets it, Agent. I hope Martucci gets it. Because there should be sanctions against him.
I think he should be disbarred, honestly. And I'm not gonna hide the fact that I will, when all this is over, I think I may even submit something that he should be disbarred.
Here's my question, though. Is Lesniak on any of the documents? Is his signature on anything other than showing up to court? Because from what I've seen so far, I haven't seen his name on anything.
I think it was maybe on the second filings. I can pull them up. I'm trying to find the old ass. One. Let's see. Someone may know before I start looking.
Yeah, I know Castor represents Dog. That was in the letter.
I think he did sign some of the stuff. I used to have it like even like automatically Delaware County. When's the next court date for that?
Of who? Granny?
Yeah.
I don't think there is another court date. I think they're just waiting.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure about the court date with the Britney thing. That one I don't know.
I think that one's in April, like with Julie. I think there's one in April 1st. I mean, I'm going off my memory.
Yeah, they're waiting for the merit panel, but the appeal, not the appeal, the separate one from the cease and desist.
Yeah, that I think is April 1st. I could be, this is me
No,
just going off memory.
no,
For
that's
Brittany?
That's Brittany and Julie.
That's what I was saying. That
No,
was, oh,
Brittany has a separate case with
oh
Brittany.
yeah, up in the, yeah. Well,
From,
I think she's already, like, because Brittany didn't respond to it, it was a default judgment.
yeah, but I think you still have to go to court to collect.
I mean, she
And
didn't have to
default
show up for that.
Yes, because what does she win? Okay, she won. What does she win? You have to set up a court date for it.
But that's not something that Brittany will have to attend. I mean, it's just something that they would, I think, would be filed with the court. As to what they're seeking.
April 8th for the declaratory. Okay. Yeah, after she doesn't respond, court date will be set. That's what I thought. It's the agent saying it's April 8th.
Oh, so she's got a lot going on that first week of April.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of stress for somebody that says they're pregnant.
Speaking of, that's what I wanted to play before I get off. Hold on. I'm starving. I still got to make labels.
I can't believe Leslie filed all these dumb exhibits. Dumbass.
I don't think she'll respond either. I'll agree with you. Hold on.
Oh, have you seen where like Granny filed for like her attorney's fees against the plaintiffs in that night?
Hold on. All right, what was that?
Did you see where Granny had, like, they had put in, her attorney had filed with the court about her attorney fees?
Yeah, the 80,000 or whatever. Yeah, that's billable.
60.
I talked about all that already.
$60,795.
Yeah,
But attorneys are cheap. Attorneys are cheap, according to Craig. And they have to respond to that by April 14th. Will they respond? I don't know.
Okay. So check this out. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this already, but I thought it was really interesting and a big like, whoa. So hold on.
BJ showed her belly with skin now.
Yeah, she did.
What she lifted her shirt?
Yeah.
Gross. Oh.
All right, look.
I was listening to a live earlier and they were playing Britney's stream from the other night. And I think I caught her in another lie. I want to know what you.
Now, just remember this, okay? Brittany and Craig have 2 kids together. They have 2 kids, all right? They should know this. So keep listening.
You guys think, but she was talking about getting that Rogam shot and that she had to get it at 28 weeks. And when I'm listening to this, I'm like, things aren't sounding correct here. Like things are sounding a little off. So I'm going to play the clip and then show a couple things. And you let me know what you think about this.
Flight nurse says being RH negative, Rogan must be 28 weeks. Is receipt enough for anyone?
You mean that you have to see a doctor because you have to get that shot?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's so sad. It was, oh my gosh, terrible.
You know
Couldn't,
what?
couldn't eat, couldn't keep water down. Pain was
the-
just
I have to get a Rogan shot at 28 weeks. I have to get a Rogan shot at 28 weeks.
We're both negative. You don't have to get a Rogram shot, you ignorant motherfucker.
No,
Now that's the part that I caught. So he said if you're both negative, then you wouldn't need to get a shot. Hello, do you not have two kids together? Would you not know if she's gotten the shot in the past or not?
Probably not.
I
I
have to
mean,
get one
it's
every.
Craig.
Because
Hold
they
on, y'all.
don't know
Hold
that
on.
you were
I gotta
both
pee.
negative.
Give me just a second. I gotta pee.
You gotta fucking read.
Oh, I gotta pee bad.
So I added a little bit of information about the Rogam shot and what RH incompatibility is. But what caught my attention about that is that she said that she has to get it at 28 weeks. Not that she had to get it, not that she already got it, the fact that she has to get it, implying that she's not yet 28 weeks. And then you have Craig in the background saying, you don't have to have it. We both are RH negative. You don't have to get it then. And she's saying, yes, I do. I had to get it with all of my kids, which would then imply that she had it with both of the boys as well. So that was really interesting. So after Craig says all of that, Flight Nurse then says, I was unaware that Craig was RH negative as well. In blood, 2 negative do not equal a positive. Ha ha ha.
Huh.
Craig is 100,000% correct. It's not needed. Sorry, I was not aware that Craig was negative. Therefore, I stand corrected. So she's agreeing with Craig there that she doesn't need to have it if they're both RH negative. She then says if they're still giving Rogam to a mother when both parents are negative, please question the care that's being received.
Like, Flightner, she's fucking lying to you. She's either not negative and just wants to sound cool or something, but how would they not know on their third child? You either had the shot in the past or you didn't. But he's saying you're not going to need it. You don't need, well, what'd you do with the first two kids? Like, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, this is just someone that just lies to fucking lie.
That's one of the first things that you're gonna do. Like they take that blood sample and determine your RH status during your first prenatal visit. Like that's
But they would, it's not even that. Go one step further.
right. Well, I mean,
They would
obviously,
know
just regular Punnett squares, two
other kids.
negatives don't have a positive, right?
But they would know this from the last two kids. The two of them are arguing like they have no fucking clue. Like, did you not just have two goddamn kids together? How do you not know? And she's like, no, well, I had to get the shot before. I would think he would know he's the father, but no, Brittany, you wouldn't have to get the shot before if you're both fucking negative.
I think their obsession with eugenics is very weird to me.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. She just lies to fucking lie.
And my question to Flight Nurse is, how are you not questioning the care? How are you not questioning anything? Because your original statement was to try to defend her into making people believe that she's seen a doctor, right? But now you're finding out that they're both RH negative. So did she have the shot? Is she going to have the shot? Has she had it in the past? Is she even RH negative? See, these are the questions that don't make sense, right? Because she's lying. She's making up lies to cover other lies because she's fighting so hard to make people believe that, having prenatal care is not illegal. Nobody's saying that it's illegal. It's dangerous. Brittany, with your age and your health condition, it is dangerous. It's dangerous for you and it's dangerous for the baby. You should be getting care, and it doesn't make any sense as to why you're not. You keep trying to defend this fact that it's not illegal and it's my body. Yeah, it is. But I mean, come on. Don't you want to? What if something happens? You got to think about that. But anyways, let's go beyond that. Okay. So she says that she has to get this shot at 28 weeks, implying that she's not yet 28 weeks, which sounded really weird to me because it already feels like she's been 7 months forever, right? Since she announced it, she's been 7 months forever. So I decided let's do a search, right? To see how far along she would have been on March 25th, 2026.
That's a granny keyboard.
Well, there we go. 30 weeks and 3 days is how far along she would have been on March 25th, 2026. So she would have already had the shot if she had gotten it. I just don't understand the lies. That's all. And I'm going to keep pointing out your lies every time you make them because they're stupid. They are stupid lies. And you talk too much, Brittany. You fucking talk too much. That's the problem. Nobody's stalking you, right? Again, you're going to try to make this like, why do you even care? Because you're fucking lying. And you're tricking your subs into, believing this shit. Like, they need to actually use their brains and think about all of these lies that you're fucking telling. Just stop fucking lying or shut the fuck up. You talk way too much. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to show, that again, she's lying about something as usual. And let me know what you think below. What do you think that she's lying about exactly? Or is she lying about all of it? I know some people believe that she's not even pregnant. I'm not going to go that far, but she's lying about something. So tell me what you think below. Have a good night.
And that's where I agree with Megan 100%. You don't lie about all this shit for no reason. There is a reason that you keep lying about the minimalist shit. Why?
I wonder, remember how she said CPS showed up at the boys' doctor's appointment? Right?
Yeah.
But the story never made sense to me as to like why they were showing up at the doctor's appointment and then needed to do a follow-up at the house. I wonder if it wasn't the boys' doctor's appointment then, if she is pregnant, if people, because I missed, unfortunately.
It was the boys' doctor appointment. It wasn't her doctor.
I'm saying, according to her, it was, but how often is she known for being a beacon of the truth?
Now, fly on the wall, I agree with you that she's 400 pounds and could look pregnant by just pushing it out. I agree with you. But I don't think Craig is in on it. If it's all a big scam, I don't think Craig is in on it. I don't think her kids would be in on it. That's why I wouldn't go there. But what is she trying to cover? Why all the lies, even about being RH negative? Like, what the fuck? Why? You're obviously not RH negative, Brittany, because if Craig is, then you would have to get that shot at 28 weeks. You would have to. And if you're 30 weeks pregnant, you would have had it 2 weeks ago. And if you would have had it 2 weeks ago, then you wouldn't have just told Craig that you had to get the shot. So why lie?
Wait, is that around the time that the CPS accompanied to the doctor's appointment?
I think so, but she said it was her kid's doctor, not hers.
I don't believe a damn word the bitch says. That's the problem, Laura. When you lie, like her go-to, her like default is lies. I think it's more likely to me if she is pregnant that CPS would accompany her ass to that, her doctor than, because the story didn't make any damn sense. Why are they going to a doctor? Why is CPS going to a doctor's appointment because of a roach infestation? Think about it. They don't.
I don't know.
I
But
mean,
now,
you ever had CPS show up at someone's pediatrician for a roach infestation?
definitely not.
Zal, you look
Oops.
so beautiful.
Now, Wolf, I agreed with that, and I had said that too originally, but this is beyond that. I understand trying to hide certain things to keep people talking, but not these kind of lies. These lies, like lying about your blood type, makes no sense. Lying about just not knowing your blood type is fucking weird.
Well, here's where it would make sense.
Crazy to me.
Here's where it would make sense. As obsessed as Craig is with eugenics and RH negative blood and, you know, just like his obsession with eugenics, I would think that Brittany would want to keep that from him, that she is, if she's RH positive, because of his obsession with eugenics.
Okay. But you would think he would know.
I don't think he would know if she got the ROGAM shot. I don't think he didn't go to any of her stuff. He doesn't like.
And yeah, he thinks she's blue eyes and looks Norwegian.
Right.
Where are you from? She's got.
He also thinks Scotland is fucking in the tropical has tropical forests. So.
All right, so he's not the brightest. But yeah, this to me, like, I'm with Irish. This is a sickness. Like, this is compulsive. This is way beyond, you know, she wants people talking about her. This is like way past that.
Yeah, like, it's her default. She actually has to correct. She lies about the dumbest stuff and then gets caught in it and has to correct herself. Or, like, for example, when she said she hadn't talked to Nick about the whole, like, lawsuit thing. And then she was like, I'm going to talk to him. Then, like, a few minutes later, I did talk to Nick. You know, I mean, she just lies.
I'll be honest, there's a part of me that actually feels bad for Craig. I think Craig is a victim.
How?
He is a victim of a fucking pathological narcissist.
He's one too. He's just different in his own way.
I don't think he's a narcissist. I think he's too dumb to be a narcissist. I do. I think he's a victim. I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm just saying I think he's a victim. I think she lies so much, she doesn't even know the fucking truth. And like other people have said that she keeps him drunk to keep him around.
No, I think she keeps him drunk to. I think
she keeps him lick it up and in the dark. She's a sick bitch.
I wonder what she did to him before, because he used to not be around. Like, would she give him, you know, sleepy time tea or something? Like, what was he doing before? Because that house is only less than 1,500 square feet. Where was he before?
Call it a personality disorder of pathological liars. She just lies about everything. See, Fly, you agree. He's a victim. I mean, even hearing him go off and like, you know, she does this, she does that. Bitch, why don't you do it? Because she's a fucking control freak. That's why. She's an absolute control freak.
Well, he's a lazy motherfucker, so it works out. I mean, he probably don't want to do it anyways.
Yeah,
he cuts the grass at fucking 3 a.m.
Hold up, maybe she makes him that way. Maybe she wants it that way. You don't know. We don't know.
Wants him cutting grass at 3 a.m. They didn't even know if they went to sleep the other day. Like, I just don't understand how they're gonna keep a baby when they don't even know. Like,
maybe she plans on this baby something wrong or dying or something. Yeah, he sleeps 15 hours a day. He
Huh.
said he needs his beauty sleep.
His Twitter would say otherwise, but sure. I do
don't
believe he
know.
doesn't lift a damn
I
finger.
mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're both fucking losers, but he's not a pathological liar where she is.
Yeah. Craig will call like, except for, and she will intentionally mislead Craig to think that things are being said in terms of like their families being attacked and all this shit.
And let me tell you something else. I am convinced that she is so fucking insecure and so pathetic that she doesn't let him out of the house because, God forbid, he looks at another female. God forbid, another female looks at him. She won't be able to handle it. I know someone like this. And this chick is so young and morbidly obese. And from what I was told, she will not let her boyfriend work or let her now husband, I guess.
He's
She
not her
won't.
husband.
No. But I'm saying the person that I know. It was
Oh.
fucking Brad's niece. And she, from what I was told, she would not let her boyfriend work because he needed to stay home with the kids because she was so insecure about him leaving.
Bad Wolf and I agree on something. She better watch out for Melissa.
There you go.
Because I know I've sat back and I've watched from experience. I've watched that woman flirt with other people's significant others, people that she knew knew were in a relationship. We have Rogie, we have Tatted Drunk, we have Lemon Center when he was whatever with Emmy. We have, I mean, it's a lot of people. And the thing is too, like, that kills me is people, I guess, may not know or remember her history. Like, one of the first things she'd ever hear was call the cops on people. So, like, the people that are so against, like, going real life and calling cops and stuff, I don't know why they welcome her in the chat. I have watched her call the cops over, like, on barbecue, lady, probably no less than 8 times. Like, I've watched her call the cops, like, on TikTok. And that was just, like, in a few months.
Hold on. Who, Bad Wolf? Melissa should be a sugar mama.
But she doesn't have the money to be a sugar mama.
Can you fucking believe I was listening to her for like 5 minutes today and I heard her say, I'm not spending $200 a month to get my dog shaved or whatever. Really? But you'll spend $25,000 on Queen Bee?
Well, 1,000 was because I was your mod.
And you'll spend 1,000 on Sinner within a week? But God forbid you pay for your dog? I was like, oh my God, I can't with this chick. Like,
Yeah,
wow.
well, I have a theory about where that, like I said, she doesn't have it like that to throw out. So,
Bad Wolf, I don't know who you're talking about. Most men should work. Unless you physically can't, men should work, period.
but I mean, Melissa will end up she'll get mad at Brittany one day and just call the cops on her ass a few times. I'm just waiting for her to happen.
She acts like she's this big YouTuber because she's like, I think she said there were like 20 people in there. She's like, I don't know where everyone is. Melissa, you don't have that many people. Like, what are you talking about? She makes it sound like she's Queen Bee.
She came over with Salty Lunatic, originally, right? And she would go up on Salties to try and channel build in terms of like being opposition of like barbecue. And then she's just channel building. I mean,
But it's
That's
just
what she's using Brittany for, just like she was using Sinner for that too.
but the way she talks, like if I say, like, if I come in and I have like 30 people in here, I'm like, okay, where the fuck is everyone? I have 22,000 subscribers. I can say that. I have a community that I've built for years. So I can be like, all right, I got to have at least 100. Where the fuck is everyone? But if I had 1,000 subscribers and jumped from place to place, didn't have my own community, I wouldn't say that. Like, she doesn't have a community yet. Like, you have to build a community that should, and not build it off someone else. Like, you have to build it on your own merit.
If Brittany can't tell that she's building it off her big back, then I don't know what to tell her.
She changed it now it's back to J for A, because I guess her and Sinner are done. Triangulation Station, good name. It's just so weird to me how she thinks she's like this big fucking YouTuber. Like, dude, chill out. Be happy you have 10 people in your fucking life.
Well, yeah, she got really mad at Cromarils for not including her in this stuff, but like in that dark side, whatever. And then now she's aligned herself with Cromarils and some other people. I'm just like, interesting.
Yeah, he always says that. Laura has a dying channel. Well, guess what, B. Tim? I don't buy bots. It's obvious someone else does. So there. But I'm getting off though. I'm fucking starving.
Yeah. What are you gonna eat?
I don't know. I have some Chinese fried rice that I have to heat up. But
sounds good.
I have to make labels. I got to bring everything to the coffee shop tomorrow.
Those candles looked good. You should show off before you leave. Pull up the picture of the candles.
It's on my community post.
I know, but not everybody reads community posts.
Well, they should.
Yeah, well, we don't. Sorry.
Posts.
No, they actually look like if I sat down, I'd probably try and take a drink out of them.
They smell amazing too. That's a strawberry shortcake. That's the coffee and strawberry shortcake. Fresh brewed coffee. And that's coffee.
See, wouldn't you go try and lick the top of it or something? I would.
What?
I'd go try and lick the stuff off the top and then take a sip.
It's all wax. I mean,
I'd figure that out pretty quickly, but
it's non-toxic. You wouldn't get hurt or anything, but it wouldn't taste so good. It smells good, but it wouldn't taste so good.
Yeah. No, they look good.
Thank you.
But yeah, have a good night. And yeah, you'll have fun with Melissa. She'll go live, I'm sure. I'll let you know if I see her go live.
Yeah,
she loves late nights when nobody else is on, because that's when she gets people.
That's true. Good point. Thank you, Corey.
Have a good night.
They'll be on the website soon. I just made them for the coffee shop. So, but I got to add them to my website. My mom gets mad at me. Why aren't they on the website? You sell so many of them. I just made them for the coffee shop. You're echoing. So, all right. I had a boot you. You're echoing. Thank you, Carly. All right, but I'm gonna get off. I got to do these labels. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for super chats. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. And that's it. And don't forget, order your candles, energycandles.com. But I'll post a full picture of the boxes and everything so you guys can see them. Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. I'll show you. I'll show you how they're coming. I got to pull it out of Discord. Hold on. So if you guys happen to order one, hold on, I forgot you can't do it from Discord. Hold on. Oh man, I can't even do it that way. Fucking Discord sucks. Hold on. Hold on. Oh. Oh. All right. So this is how they come boxed. Oh, wait. Where is it? How come it's not showing? Ugh. Motherfucker. Hold on. There you go. And if you can't tell what those are, I put a matchbook in each one of them. So that's what they look like boxed. And you get free matches. And there you go. You tried tagging me in your short. So if you want them for presents, Easter gifts, whatever, that's what they come look like. Thank you, Fly on the Wall. Yeah, Joe Styrish got hit with some bullshit. And she got a community strike. Which for total bullshit. She didn't even do anything. I figured the matchbook was like an added touch. And that's it. I have a shitload of them. So, yeah, you got a warning because it's your first one. But you shouldn't have got it. I mean, you didn't do anything. And I think those rules are saying that if you had a gun or if you were promoting someone with a gun, hey, Keith, not just showing a video. I mean, that's fair use. It makes no sense. I would reach out to the Galera and see how he got out of his. That's what I would do. Because that's going to hurt you. And that's fucked up. That's wrong. So, all right, I'm getting off, though. I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. I'll send you a picture of my setup at the coffee shop. And that's it. Yeah, there were cops with guns. That's like happens all the time. We show that stuff all the time. Maybe it's their new bullshit. I would email them and find out. Because he would know. He would know. If he got out of his immediately, he would know. So, all right, I'm going to go eat something and make these labels. I will see you beautiful people later. Have a wonderful night. Peace. Be good to each other. Don't be psychotic.